Harold the horse. Harold the horse lived in a field all by himself. It didn't bother him too much, but sometimes he felt a little bit lonely. I just got that wrong. I'm just going to start again. Harold the horse. Harold the horse lived in a field all by himself. Sometimes he felt a bit lonely. It didn't bother him too much because he loved making up games. Sometimes he would pretend he was the captain of a ship that was being attacked by pirates. He would have his sword around. It would, wouldn't he? Harold the horse. I can just see these two laughing out the corner of my eye. Harold the horse. Harold the horse lived in a field all by himself. Sometimes he felt a bit lonely. It didn't bother him too much because he loved making up games. Sometimes he would pretend he was the captain of a ship that was being attacked by pirates. He would wave his sword around to fend off the naughty pirates that were trying to board. Other times he would pretend he was lost in a desert and dying of thirst. He would drag himself along the grass, pretending to be desperate for water. This game in particular made all the other animals laugh out loud. Everyone loved to watch Harold play his games. They would watch him from the side of the field and cheer and clap whenever he finished. But the game they loved the most was when he pretended to be a racehorse. This sometimes happened when he felt a nice warm breeze on his face. He would look up, sniff the air and begin trotting, then galloping as fast as he could towards the bottom of the field where there was a very high fence. "Come on, Harold, you can do it!" shouted all the animals as Harold raced at top speed to the bottom of the field, and they would cheer and clap when he flew over the big fence and landed safely on the other side. Harold's favourite day was every other Wednesday, and this Wednesday was no different. He raced to the top of the field as he heard the sound of the bus engine coming closer. He waited by the gate patiently as all the children were getting off the bus one by one. Before he could say anything else, Harold felt someone climb onto his back. He looked around to see Ben sitting on him. "Come on, Harold, take me for a ride," said Ben, kicking Harold to try and make him go. "You must get off right away," said Harold with a worried look on his face. "Oh, please, just a little ride," said Ben. "No," said Harold firmly. "You are not allowed on my back, and you must get off right now." "Harold is scared, Harold is scared," sang Ben as he continued to kick at Harold. "You have to get off, Ben," shouted the other children. "Harold will get into trouble if you don't." "Okay, I promise to get off you if you just walk around in a small circle for me," said Ben, looking down at Harold. "Okay, only if you promise to get off my back," said Harold. "Yes, of course I will," said Ben. Slowly, Harold started walking. "Faster, faster," shouted Ben as he jumped up and down, hitting Harold with his feet. "Harold can't run. Harold is too old," sang Ben at the top of his voice. Without thinking, Harold broke into a trot. "Yee-haw!" screamed Ben as he bounced up and down. Just as Harold turned to go back, a warm breeze came over his face. He lifted his neck and sniffed the air, and before long broke into an excited canter. You can stop now, Harold," said Ben nervously. But Harold was too excited. He couldn't hear Ben. In fact, he forgot Ben was there altogether as he quickly broke into a fast gallop. "Help! Help!" screamed Ben as Harold raced to the top towards the bottom of the field. "Come on, Harold, you can do it," shouted the animals at the edge of the field, as Harold got even faster and headed towards the high fence at the bottom. Harold flew up and over the fence before crashing down on the other side. Ben, thought Harold suddenly, and he looked round nervously. Are you okay, Ben? Ben didn't say a word. By now, the other children had squeezed down to the bottom of the field and squeezed through a hole.
Harold the horse. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Harold lived in a field all by himself. Sometimes he felt a bit lonely. It didn't bother him too much because he loved making up games.
Yes, I'm sure it is, said Sarah. It wasn't your fault, Harold. You did ask him to get off. He just didn't listen. Harold spent the following days worrying about Ben and all the other children, and whether they would be able to visit him.
Come on, Harold, you can do it, shouted all the animals as Harold raced at top speed to the bottom of the field. And they would cheer and clap when he flew over the big fence and landed safely on the other side. The end.
Is that it? Hey.
Yay!
Ding 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 ding.
He felt more lonely than ever, just sitting and counting the days until the children returned. Wednesday came and went, and there was no sign of anyone. You must be Harold. My name is Jane. Would you like to be friends? Asked the mare politely. Yes, yes, of course, said Harold, smiling, the biggest smile ever, as they walked side by side down the field. From then on, they spent many days playing games and having fun together. Even Ben and all the other children came back to visit, which made Harold even happier. The end.